5 questions that just might help you eliminate conflict and scale down the drama a little bit. Hey, I'm Dr. Day, and I help nurses who are seeking clarity and confidence in their nursing career journey. And I call this 5 in 5. 5 in 5. So this are 5 suggestions, tips, pieces of advice, recommendations, something. 5 of those in 5 minutes. And the reason that I stick with the 5 minutes is because even though I might try to be as entertaining as I can be and keep y'all connected to this information, I want to make sure that you're getting what you came here for. There's nothing I can't stand more than scrolling, rolling through somebody's video and like I'm doing right now, I'm talking and talking, talking. Okay, so 5 in 5. I have 5 minutes. I have a timer here that will be set. I'm going to give a brief little introduction, tell you a little bit about myself, but once we get started with the 5 tips, you'll have 5 minutes. It's not going to go too far past that, but I am trying to try my best to stick with 5 minutes, y'all. 5 in 5. So we're going to jump into those 5 tips, but first, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. Why might you ask, should you be listening to me talk about this? You could listen to a whole bunch of other people, or what does she know? So just a brief background. Nursing is a second career for me. I went back to school for nursing after a personal experience that really kind of transformed me. I wanted to be able to help other people, and I wanted to do something where I was making a difference. I could lay my head down at night and say, I did something to make something a little bit better for somebody. That's kind of the goal. And so I got into nursing, and it's been wonderful. I started off in the burn ICU of a level 1 trauma center, and from there went into leadership and went into quality. And I got a lot of the ideas that I have right now. So it was my role as the Vice President of Professional Development and Clinical Quality, where I had the strategic oversight for the nurse residency program, the nurse extern program, all of orientation and onboarding, our simulation center. I mean, it was a pretty vast role, and it was humbling because I got to learn so much about the hiring process, about the onboarding process, across every discipline in the hospital, right? So not just ICU, not just the ED, but some oversight in the type of person that these managers and leaders are looking for each one of those disciplines. So it was a very informative time, and it also showed me as leaders the gaps that we have in helping nurses navigate their career paths. And so it kind of lit a fire under me to start this work of sharing information and trying to help empower nurses to be advocates and to be strong healthcare leaders within the nursing profession. So, conflict. That's really what this particular conversation is about today. I personally used to avoid it like the plague. There are some people who look for conflict and look for drama. I'm not one of those people. And I think most people are not like that. They're trying to get on with their day. They're trying to avoid the drama. They're praying, please, Lord, no drama today, please. And we're not looking for it, but sometimes it happens. And particularly when you're going into a leadership role, it is very, very important. There will be conflict. There will be drama. How good of a leader you are is going to have a lot to do with how you deal with those conflicts and how you engage in trying to facilitate conversation. One of the things that really stood out was that we're not always trained and have the tools to be able to tap into that. So what I wanted to share with you today are 5 questions that you can ask when you're in the middle of that conflict, when you feel it's getting there, it's escalating, right? We're not going the direction that we want to go in with this conversation, and it's turning emotional, right? So this is about not necessarily conflict avoidance, but how to keep that conflict from going left real quick, because it really can. Before you know it, it's turned into a whole different conversation. So I'm giving you 5 simple but powerful questions that you can ask right in the middle of a conflict situation so that you can try to de-escalate and make that conversation turn into a positive experience, or at least avoid it from going sideways. All right, y'all, keeping me honest. I got to start my timer. Let's go. And boom. Okay. Number 1, when you said that, I took it to mean blank. Could you clarify? So this question helps slow down the spiral. Maybe we're getting emotional. Maybe it was going sideways. We could feel it happening. This one gives some pause, and you're not in a defensive or aggressive posture. You're just asking for clarification because a lot of times these conversations end up being more about perception than reality, even though each person's perception is their own reality. So asking this question helps acknowledge that, and hopefully we'll defuse and get this back into a space where we're having productive conversation. Number two, I found that very hurtful. What was your intention? This one kind of gets past the sting, right? And it acknowledges that they were hurt, right? You ask that question, you are acknowledging that kind of hurt. It takes a little bit of vulnerability to ask this particular question. So this one may depend on who it is that you're speaking with, okay? But you are asking for clarity as opposed to looking like you're trying to be confrontational. Number three, is this just a simple misunderstanding, or is there something deeper here that we need to talk about? This question opens the door for honesty and transparency. It allows for a real question to be probed, asked, and answered. Either way, it helps get to the root of the problem as opposed to we're about to go to battle. Number four, help me understand, how is it that I can help you right now? This question flips the energy completely. Even if this person is heated and you want to say, maybe this is that space where you usually would go say, calm down, calm down. There's not one question that could possibly be more upsetting or frustrating is when someone is worked up and they're already emotional, and then someone comes along and is just like, calm down, calm down. So this is the perfect space to ask this particular question. All right, number five, what can both of us do to make this feel less hurtful? So you're not saying, what can I do? You're not telling the other person, here's what you need to do. This one is more a positive and proactive approach to saying, how can we work together to change this course where we're headed right now? What can we both do? It's shared accountability. This one is this is a power play right here because it's not finger pointing and it's not taking full responsibility, but just saying it takes two to tango, and together we can move forward if we work together. All right, so my timer, I didn't do too bad, y'all, this time. Most of the time, but this was a good one. I appreciate y'all being here. Please leave any comments that you have. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, whatever you do here. This is YouTube. Yes. For more information, for more tips and suggestions, and some more 5 and 5s. Thank you. Y'all be blessed.